Well, welcome everybody. Welcome Sheri, finally. Sheri and I had started this last year, and the proposal at that time was to have Sheri come to Blind Bay Hall as our guest speaker for our May 7th meeting. Unfortunately, as we all know, COVID hit and shut us all down. So, we contemplated how we might be able to move forward with Sheri's presentation. I mean, it's really important. You see all sorts of people out there walking, some of them with poles, a lot of them not using their poles properly. So, I wanted to, work with Sheri to see if we might be able to come up with a Zoom meeting for our membership to be able to understand the advantages of walking properly with them. Now I'm going to just turn it over to Sheri. Sheri has some proposals for an opportunity for us to take advantage of the polls and that. So, and we can talk about that after. Sheri, thank you very much again for participating today. We all look forward to it. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. Whoa, I'm bigger than life there. Hi. So you are recording, right, Dorothy?
Yes.
And did I let her remind her? So hi, everybody. It's so good to have you guys here and that I'm here. I'm excited to be here. 80% of success is just showing up. And you guys aren't just showing up. You are members of this amazing group, which I think is so awesome. To be a part of something like Probus where it's a family, right? And a community. And I think it is really, really awesome. So I'm excited to be here. I've only done a couple of Zooms, so, be patient with me also if I'm not quite, if there's a few things that hesitate, but I'm excited to be here and I have lots to share with you. So first of all, I'm trying to get it back to gallery view for me because, and there we go, I got it. Because I wanted to ask who here already has polls? Okay, quite a few of you. Okay, who doesn't have polls?
Me.
Okay, there are a few people who don't. All right. And then, so that's interesting. So that's a good thing to know. Who here uses their polls on a regular basis? All right. Who here tries to use them on a regular basis? A few people. Okay. Who here thinks about using their polls on a regular basis? Because we know we're supposed to be doing it, right? You'd be shocked how many people come past me at a trade show or something and they go, oh, I've got your polls. I just love them. And I'm going, are you using them? I say, and they're like, oh, yeah. Oh, and there's all these, I call them excuses that come up, as to why they're maybe not using them as much as they should be. So, because we all know we're supposed to move. We all know I was talking about that earlier about getting my mom and my dad out. And my mom is pretty good at it. My dad is always, oh, I ache too much. But yet after he gets moving, he's like, oh, yeah, I wish I'd do this more often because it just changes how you feel. Today's sitting is like yesterday's smoking, okay? It is very, very unhealthy for us to be sitting around. And particularly today with COVID, so many of us feel housebound and kept, under lock and key. We're not supposed to go out and not supposed to be around people. And again, why I think this whole Probus and you guys venturing forth and learning computers and being on this, good for you guys, because I think it is so important, to know we're not alone and that we're a part of something. But put on to that too, though, you can't just be sitting at your computer. My mom, she's 83 and, she'll even say too, she just loves the funny little videos and the stuff like that. But we really have to be careful about how much time we spend, looking at these things and sitting on our computers and saying, oh, I'm supposed to be home, so I'm not going to go anywhere. But it's really important we move. So yay, remember that, please. Okay. Now, where do I start? Let's just start with, we know why we're supposed to move. What happens when we exercise? Like you certainly, so many different things happen. we increase, well, some people can shout out, like, what, why, for those of you who do use your poles, why are you using your poles? Like, what happens? So you can just press your space bar, right, Dorothy? And they can say something. So if you put your hand up, then we'll do that. So I'd love someone to, a few people to share, please. Why are you using your poles, those who do?
So I'll start. I use my poles because since I started using poles, my knees are better and I don't trip.
Excellent. More sturdy. Exactly.
So,
Yes, Heather?
Heather? Oh, you can see her.
Your posture is much better if you use the poles consistently.
Yes, for sure. What else? Anybody else want to share why they use their poles? Yes, Jeannie?
Better posture. I had a surgery and the only way I could really get walking again was to use those poles. And now I'm quite addicted to them. So.
Right on.
Better
Okay.
posture.
Well, you're 26% lighter. We'll be talking about. Yes, back to you again, Heather.
I think it helps to strengthen your back and shoulders more as well.
We're going to get into all the benefits, but you guys you're getting it for sure. Anybody else who wants to just share why they use their poles? Okay, well, that's fine. For those who aren't maybe using them, boy, you're going to go, why haven't I been using my poles once we start sharing some really cool stuff?
Ellie, are you raising your hand down there? I can't see whether you
Ellie, are you? No? Okay, she says she's not. Okay, so the thing is that when we walk, okay, no matter how fast you go, no matter how far you go, if you're walking, okay, so many people are out there walking without poles. I don't care how fast you go. I don't care how far you go. You're only using less than 50% of your muscles. And I'll get into that again soon too. But sadly, a lot of people still think the poles are for the very old and poor dears, people who need help walking. Poor thing must need help, right? I just, little do they know, okay, because the lady across the street, she's 85 years old. And well, actually, she's closer to 90 now, actually. But at the time, our boys were doing the papers. We do 90 papers in the community where we live, okay? And I get this, my paper. Where's my paper? Remember that Where's the Beef commercial from years ago? And that lady standing out, Where's the Beef from the Burger King commercial? Well, this is her because we were away and we couldn't get anybody to do our papers. So anyway, she insisted, she says, I will do the papers. So I said, okay, I'll put them in the trunk of your car and you and I'll drive around and I'll show you before we go away next time. And I'll show you where, oh, I'm not taking my car, and so this woman's amazing. She walks all the time. I pass her, I walk to the bridge and back and I'm passing her all the time. She's amazing. Anyway, we were away for 3 weeks. So that's a lot of papers to do over the 3 weeks. And as a thank you, I got her a beautiful potted plant for her garden. And I thought, she's walking, I'm going to get her poles, right? Do you know what she says to me? She looks at me and she touches me gently and she says, I don't need assistance walking, sweetheart. Well, I didn't know whether I should laugh or should cry. I walk with poles all the time. She obviously thinks I need help walking. So I was like, oh my God. So isn't that hilarious? Here she was at 80 or, mid 80s, and she didn't need no help walking, but she figured I did because I'm walking with poles. Little does she know, she's just insulted the cross-country ski Olympians of the world. Now, I wanted to show you that. I'm going to try to pull in a slide now, and then I'm going to come back because I want to come back. But, well, I'll hold the slide for a second. So anyway, yeah, so many people, but little does she know, she's just insulted the cross-country skiing Olympians as well as offended me terribly because that's where pole walking came from, okay? So you guys walk proud and confident in what you're doing because I was one of those lucky ladies who puts on 40 to 50 pounds every time I got pregnant. And I have 3 beautiful boys to show for it. And I always swore, I'm never going to get out of shape. I'm never going to get overweight. No, I'm never going to do that. Well, I put on, like I say, 40 to 50 pounds every time I had a kid. And I just could never lose the full amount. So I always held on to it. And before I knew it, I was up over 70, 80 pounds overweight. And I could get it down a bit with walking and exercise, but nothing really, I don't know. I didn't have enough time to invest in it. I had a construction company at the time. I was designing and building houses. I had my own construction design company. Anyway, and the days were really long. And come home and looking after kids. It was tough. So we're flying over to Denmark for Christmas. My husband's Danish. And as we are flying over there, there's in the seat pocket in front of you, there's this magazine article, and it talked about the cross-country ski coaches of the Olympic cross-country ski team in Finland, how they would send their athletes off in the, out in the off season. So they're no more, so to keep in shape, they had them biking, running, swimming, and weight training. No mamby-pamby schedule. These are Olympic athletes, okay? But guess what? No matter how much biking, running, swimming, and weight training these athletes did, they always entered the season in less shape than they left the season. They weren't clocking the same time on the trails they were doing previous. Their VO2 and cardio were not registering the same. They were not in the same shape. And the coaches were going crazy because there's like, we can't afford the time to take, 2 weeks to a month to get back into peak performance. We need that edge. What are we going to do? So they thought, well, we'll follow the snow, right? Because it's that total body motion, right? But then they went, wait a second, it is the total body motion. It's not the snow that gives our athletes the fitness level. It's the fact that they're moving their entire body with every step, or slide, shall we say, on the skis. So that's when they said, let's take those poles to dry land and we'll start walking, hiking. And for them, I don't suggest this here, but running with poles, okay? And that's when they never looked back. And just so you know, walk proud with your poles. Do you know that cross-country skiers are the fittest athletes in the world in stamina, endurance, flexibility, strength, and cardio? No other athlete ranks as high in all 5 categories doing their sport as a cross-country skier. Okay. Now, we don't need to be Olympic athletes or anything, but isn't that neat to know for us that when we're using our poles, that we are elevating ourselves, to be as physically fit as possible. I think it's awesome. Who here thinks that's pretty awesome? All righty. I really do. I just think it's awesome. So you really gotta, and it's funny because I'm out walking, of course, all the time with my poles, and there's people still in my neighborhood and they're out there walking along without their poles. And I'm like, poor dear. Oh, poor dear. They just don't get it. But that's all right. That's okay. For those of you who do, and those of you who are listening, I won't hold it against you, but you hang on for a ride here because we're going to learn all kinds of exciting things about poles right now. Okay. Now, let's see. I am first of all I'm gonna pull up my slides. So I'm gonna share screen, right? That's what I'm gonna do. There we go. I'm gonna go share screen, and then I'm gonna pull up and this one and share. Did I do it? I think I did it. You guys?
Yes. Now all you have to do is get it into the slideshow, and you'll be great.
Okay, good. All right. So you're seeing right now a big green screen that says
now we're seeing the 2, Sheri. We're seeing the small one off to the right and with the next slide.
Oh, I wonder why that is.
We want to be in your view that's just the regular slide.
Yeah, I wonder what, we didn't have that happen last time, so I don't know how I did that.
You're like, this is what you were seeing on your other device.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
That just makes it smaller for you though. I don't know how to do.
It's just showing the next slide. So
we're seeing the next slide view kind of thing there. So
yeah, and she would just click on that.
I'm going to actually take this and I'm going to go to this because so you see all these things over. Oh, geez.
Right, now we're seeing them all.
Pardon me?
No, it was fine the way it was because it's just
going to be smaller.
Oh.
Well, no, as she goes to the next slide, won't that one come in this place?
Yes, but we had it where we had the current slide full screen the other day when she was doing it. We don't know what's happening there.
No, that's not it. What do you see
there,
now?
There, that's it. That's it.
Is that good?
Yep, that's it.
Woo! I tell you. I'm going to figure this out. Thanks for your patience. All right. Okay, so you're just seeing the one big screen now, right? Okay, so now I'm going to show, now do you see cross-country skiers? Woohoo!
Yes.
All right. So there they go. All right. Can't you see yourself? Have any of you cross country skied, by the way? All right. Yeah, it's a challenging activity, isn't it? It's not something simple. It's a great activity. So isn't it neat to know that you can get all the benefits without the snow and the skis? All right. And if anybody goes along and says, where's your skis? You know what I tell people to say? Oh, I wore them out 2.5 kilometers ago. You can say something like that. Okay. Something smart to their smarty pants remark. All right, so now this was me, by the way, 60 pounds heavier. So this was me when I was flying over to Denmark and when I discovered it. And these are my beautiful children. So you can see they're like grown men almost right now. Parker is, the one in the blue is 23 and 25 is Cooper. And the one in the pink will be 19 soon. So, and then my other boy on the left-hand side there, right? So anyway, there they are. And now here is me now, because it's hard for you to see me now. And this is me, and the after, okay, so the before and after. So you can see I'm looking a little different there. And now, of course, I don't know, I mean, you can't really see me right now, but I am 17 and a half years older than the one in the swimming suit right there. And I'm pretty pleased. I mean, you can judge me differently if you think, but I'm feeling pretty good and looking pretty young, you know, and being physically fit and active really does make a difference. So there we go. Now, here I want to show you. So we'll talk a little about this, because a lot of people say, oh, come on, it can't make that big of a difference, walking with poles or not walking with poles. But as I said, no matter how fast you go, no matter how far you go, and no matter how much you swing your arms, you are only using your lower body, all right? You're basically taking your upper body for a ride, all right? Now, there's some major disadvantages to just taking your upper body for a ride because, well, I'll just go with more. There's some huge advantages to using your whole body. So as you can see from this one, you go from using less than 50% to over 90%, all right? So that's nearly 100% of your muscles are working. And that is just, I mean, hello, why wouldn't we want to do that? I'm gonna go now out of slide because I wanna just talk a little bit more about that. Okay, so I'm going to, how do I go stop share?
Just stop sharing there.
There we go. Hi, everybody, there we go. Now, who here likes the no pain, no gain? They love that, you know, feel the burn, 3 more, 2 more. Is there a few of you? Well, I don't. It doesn't matter. In fact, it's part of my reason for getting overweight and out of shape in the first place, because I don't like the idea of sweating like a pig, panting like a dog, and hurting somewhere. It just doesn't appeal to me. Does it to you guys? Who here doesn't like it? I don't know. I don't like it. Frankly, I don't care how pretty a bow you put on that package of sweating like a pig, panting like a dog, and hurting somewhere. I don't care how pretty a bow. Tomorrow sort of thing. So the cool thing is, I'm excited to say that you don't have to do that. That is a huge myth about being fit, all right, and getting fit. So everybody say yay. Yay, hands up and say yay, all right? Because that is so awesome that we don't need to do that. And the thing is, we need to use, it's not about hurting somewhere, it's about using as much of our body as often as we can, okay? That's the secret to being healthy and fit. The more we move and the more of our body that we move is what raises our fitness level, all right? And with poles, that is a for sure that happens. Okay. And I get this wonderful comment every time people put poles, and I'm sure for those of you who have poles, is this how you feel? I don't know, but I think 2 of you said, Jeannie and Heather, you both said, I stand taller, right? Don't you find your posture is better? Now there's some huge advantages and why we need to stand up taller. First of all, we come by poor posture quite honestly in North America. A lot of us are slouchers, okay? Because what? We're hunched over computer screens and keyboards. We're sitting in sloppy chairs watching television, or we're being industrious and we're chopping and dicing and preparing food or washing dishes or bending into the dishwasher, right? Or we're driving somewhere. So what we do, even though we know, gotta stand up, you know, gotta stand up, because we're told, right? Posture is good. We gotta stand up, right? But the problem is the more we slouch, the more these muscles in the front of our chest become tighter and shorter and tighter and shorter. So this is where they're comfortable, is like this, okay? But two major negative things happen with poor posture. One is, talk to any chiropractor or physiotherapist and they'll tell you, poor posture is the #1 leading cause of chronic pain issues in our shoulders, our neck, back, and our spine. And it creates, because our nervous system is through our spine and we're slouching and crouching all the time, it causes everything from headaches to hip issues, shoulder issues, all kinds of different things. Would you not agree that any of you just suffering from any of that? Any of that? Yeah. So it's really important to align our spine. And here they do, the chiropractors and physios, they align us and then we go right back to like this. But the cool thing about the poles is every time we take a step, we're contracting all of the muscles in that proper alignment. So we start to sit, stand, and walk taller right now. Now, a lot of you, I want to show you just, and I'm going to, like, you don't have to grab your pole. Does any of you have like a table in front of you? Because a lot of you are at the screen. So you've got a table in front of you or an arm on a chair, because I want to show you right here so you can really understand that last photo I showed you about using all of your muscles. I want you to sit up to the desk if you can and put your fist, one fist, each of you, if you can lean, or if you have a arm on your chair, put your arm on the chair in a fist, okay? All right. And either on the desk in front of you or on your arm, on an arm of a chair. And the other hand is on your tummy. Okay. So you're going to be like this. I want you to push down gently into that arm of the chair or into the desk. Relax. Push down gently into the arm of the chair or the desk. Relax. Push down again. Relax. That's a tummy crunch. Isn't that amazing? Everybody feel that? Do you feel how your stomach is contracting? Feel how the back of your arm on that arm you're pushing down is contracting? Think about it too. Push down again. Feel how it comes right up in between your shoulder blades. And feel your bum comes a little bit off the seat of your chair. Isn't that something? Depending on how hard you push. You can relax now. But that's a demonstration of the fact that you're using over 90% of your muscles. Every time you plant that pole and pull and propel yourself forward, you're engaging all of those muscles in that proper alignment. So who knew that? A couple of you did, but it is really a great thing to know. And this is the other cool thing. In 30 minutes, we take almost 2,000 steps. Okay, they've calculated it's between 1,800 and 2,000, depends on the size of you and how fast you walk and whatnot. That's almost 2,000 tummy crunches, 2,000 tricep extensions, 2,000 lat pulls. Hello. I mean, okay, everybody drop down, give me 2,000 right now. Not. We're not going to do that. And and this is the cool part too, is that I think is so funny. Well, actually, I'll tell the 30-minute thing. I'll tell that later. Okay, so I'm going to do that one later. All right. So isn't it nice to know now, every time you're taking a step, you're aligning your spine. Okay. Now there's another very negative thing. Remember I said there was two things really negative about poor posture. Is one, put your spine, because the chiropractors will tell you when you put your spine out of where alignment, you put your spine in stress, and that stress in turn causes a lot of different issues. The other thing about poor posture is, and this is where I say to everyone here, this is really, really important. This is one of the biggest things that blows me away. When we compress our chest cavity, what do we compress our chest cavity, causing ourselves too shallow. You can mouth the word. I want to see it. Breathe. Okay, breathe. It is so, do you know what we're doing when we shallow breathe? We're actually choking off and restricting the blood flow that goes to our hearts, our lungs, our brains, and all of our muscles. Oh, I don't know, I feel real tired, you know. This is my dad. I don't know, not right now. But, you know, that's why they say that shallow breathing is one of the leading causes of lethargic, low energy, thoughtlessness, and depression. And at a time with COVID right now, again, so important. So let's everybody sit up tall in those chairs, okay? Wherever you're sitting, I want your chest out, and for women, I want your boobalas out, okay? Sitting nice and tall, open that chest up and inhale and okay, inhale. Anybody see little twinkling stars? I think that's like a little OD on oxygen there. Whoa, is that what that's about? So we need to get oxygen to our heart, our lungs, and our brains. They did an interesting study where they took a bunch of people who were diagnosed clinically depressed. 1/3 they had taking an antidepressant, of course. Another third were taking a placebo. So they thought they were taking an antidepressant. And the other third, they had them doing walking with yoga type breathing. I'm going to call it unofficially, of course, yoga pole walking. Only why I feel quite confident I can do that is that the study showed that they had an increase of 20% in their cardio. Guess what? That's the minimum you get as an increase of minimum of 20% when you're walking with the poles. So I'm going to say, yes, let's call it yoga pole walking. So the group that did the yoga pole walking fared better than all the people put together in the placebo and the antidepressants. Isn't that amazing? So I get goosebumps when I tell that, because what does it tell you about our body's ability to heal itself? If we walk in that proper alignment, we use our chest cavity, don't hinder the space of that cavity. Open our chest up. And I really believe in today's world with dementia and Alzheimer's and all of that, a lot of times too, if you go to any homes right now and you see these people, what are they doing? They're hunched over walkers, hunched over, crunching up here, or they're sitting in chairs, and please, I'm just so happy you guys are active and moving, and it's just so critical. We need to move, okay, and open that chest. And that's one of the primary things. Let's get breathing, all right? Now, a few of you said any back, hip, knee, ankle, or feet challenges. Who again here has got some of those issues? Back, hip, knee, ankle, or feet challenges? All right. Well, I'm excited to say when you're walking with your poles, you are 26% lighter. I had this one fellow come to my clinic. He was dropping his wife off, and he's turning around, getting back in the car, and he's about to leave. And I was still outside, and I said, "Where? Excuse me, sir, but where are you going?" And he says, "Oh, I don't walk." And I said, "Boy, I've never heard really that one, but I just kind of got a little glimpse of you walking around your car." So he says, "No, I haven't walked 2.5 kilometers in 50 years." And I said, "Okay, what?" That was trying to do the math, and I'm going, "This is impossible. How old are you?" He says, "Well, I'm 67 years old." And I said, "Okay, that's near impossible that you haven't walked 2.5 kilometers in 50 years." He says, "No, when I was 17 years old, I was in a major car accident. I broke my back. I was paralyzed for 30 of those 50 years. Literally, I had 9 back surgeries. I was immobile. I didn't move." And he's a big man. He's like 6'5", and of course big. When you're not walking for 50 years, you put on some weight. And I said, "I would really, really love it if you could please just stay for the clinic, okay?" So he says, arms crossed, okay. I got him a chair, so he's not standing, of course. So after we just did a little walk, he just experienced them, and his name was Jerry, and he says, "You know what? I'm going to give this a try. I just like the stability I have with them. My back is still killing me, but there's just this little edge off, and I like it. It feels nice. I'm going to try this." I saw him 3 months later. He lost 30 pounds. Okay. 30 pounds. And first of all, I was like, "Jerry, you look, wow." He says, "Yeah, I lost 30 pounds. I says, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm not up to 2.5 kilometers. Every other day I'm going, but and then I touched base with him 3 years after that. He's lost over 80 pounds. Okay. And he was walking 2.5K a day. All right. So what a difference that makes. And this is a man, remember, that wasn't walking. So what a difference that makes in getting everything moving. 26% lighter makes a difference. Now, who here, this is kind of because you guys have lots of hills in Blind Bay, right? Yeah, everybody's nodding their heads. Lots of hills. Who likes walking hills? Don't you find, okay, you do. Okay, well, that's good. For those of you back, hip, knee, ankle, or feet challenges, don't you find the downhills harder than the uphill? right? Because the knees and that is like, right? But the uphill also for a lot of people, it's like really exhausting, correct? I mean, it is. Because what do you do when you go up a hill? Okay, you lean in. That's what you do. You don't go up a hill going like this, you know, then you lean in. And of course, when you're leaning in, because it's physics, the steeper the hill, the more you lean in. But when you're leaning in, what are you doing? Compressing your chest cavity. So no wonder we breathe heavier and we find it harder to do hills, all right? So we're exhausted. But the neat thing about the poles is that when we use the poles, they open our chest up, we lean in, but the lean in is from our ankles. We lean in so our whole body leans in, not crouching like this. So that makes a real difference. I'll tell you a story of a couple. There was 75 and 76, and they live in Kelowna down on the water. And they walk this kilometer-long hill. It's quite steep. It's usually shut down in the wintertime. And it takes them about, I'm actually not sure how long, but all I know is they'd always stop 2 to 3 times on this steep hill, depending on their energy level and how they felt. But never did they go all the way to the top. It was just way too steep. And he never dreamed in the 3 years that they've been doing this on alternate days, they meet their Timmy's friends up at Timmy's, they would get a ride home. He never dreamed of walking home because his knees were way too bad. First day out with the poles. First day. So they're not in any different shape than they've been in. They're not more physically fit or anything. Guess what? All the way to the top of that hill. And they look at each other actually when they get to the top of the hill, look back and say, is this the same hill? They almost heard the Twilight Zone tune going. You know, remember that show, the doo-doo-doo-doo? Little do they know they just entered another dimension is what they figured because it was so easy. And it's like, wow, we're not even out of breath. It was awesome. And in less than 2 weeks, they started walking home. So that sort of sums it up too. So I get emails all the time that say the hills I used to dread are mere bumps now. So that makes a huge difference. All right, I'm going to share just one other thing, and then we are going to, we'll see some videos because it's hard for me to demonstrate. And for those of you want to know a little bit more, make sure your poles are set the right height, right? Is that what you're after? And then you want to make sure they're set right, make sure your straps are set right, those kinds of things. Some of it we can show in more detail, although I do have a 4-step walking system that I've pulled the videos and different learning modalities, like just written instructions, pictures, as well as video. And I will forward it to anybody who has poles who would like to have that. You just click and follow the 4 steps and it'll guide you through everything that we're going to learn today. So I'm only going to be able to touch on some stuff and show as best I can, but I promise you, even if you've got poles, but for those of you who want to get poles, I will be sure to send that along, and that's free. That's just, you just click and it'll guide you. Okay. So I want to just talk about one other thing. They did a study at the Cooper Institute in Dallas, Texas, where they took a bunch of walkers. They registered their cardio and registered their calorie burn. And then they said, don't walk any faster, don't go any harder. They had them wearing the same clothes, walking the same route. Everything had to be exactly the same. These are scientific studies. No matter what, and every single person, by the way, in this study increased a minimum of 20%. Remember I said 20%? Minimum of 20%. And their calorie burn went between 22 and up to 48%. They were shocked at how much. Everybody in the study was just like looking at each other and go, but were you breathing harder? How about you? How about you? Was this harder for you? What are they talking about? How can you? So basically they weren't believing the study themselves, even though they just partook in it, partake in whatever, you know what I'm saying? They just took a play, they just did it. And they couldn't believe it because they said, these scientists are crazy. They're trying to tell us we're burning more calories and we're using our heart and lungs more, but it was easier to use the poles than not use the poles. That can't be right. And I must admit that makes no logical sense either, does it? So I read this study and I was so fascinated by it. I thought, I want to know more, like, come on, right? So I got on the phone, boop, 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 and I called the Cooper Institute in Dallas myself, transferred 3 or 4 times, and I got a hold of that department, and you'll never believe it. I got the guy who headed that study. He says, I was the lead researcher on that study. And I said, so is it true that everybody thought you were crazy? And he said, yes, actually. And we thought we were crazy because as scientists, it doesn't make logical sense. How can you do less, right? And every single person said their perceived effort was less, but yet the results were more. Okay. So so he said, you know, I don't know why every man, woman, and child aren't walking with poles, because it is truly the most efficient, effective activity you can ever do. But we were doubting ourselves. We got so upset with the people saying they're misperceiving the amount of energy they're taking. And then we started thinking, well, maybe it's our equipment, right? Maybe it's miscalibrated or whatever. So we worked on that. But no matter what we did, no matter how we came at it, it came out the same. So then he said to me, and I'll give you this question. And he said, please call me back when you have the answer to this. So I'll ask you guys, where in life can you exert less energy and less effort and get more benefit? Do you know of a place where you can actually exert less energy and less effort and get more benefit? It's pretty rare that that can happen. Who likes the idea of that, though? I don't know. If you all don't have your hands up, I think you're whatever, but I just think it's pretty cool. And then, and so not only that's cool now. So remember, you're lighter loaded on your lower body. You're going to be kinder to your body there. Now you don't have to go as fast or as far to get the same benefit. I mean, it's a win-win. 30 minutes of pole walking is equal to 50 minutes of regular walking. So if you have a walking partner or friend who's still going to insist on walking with your poles and they're not, or you're not going to, I just want you to remember at the 30-minute mark, pole walkers can stop, okay? But the other people without the poles have to go for another 20 minutes because 30 minutes equals 50, right? So you got to go for another 20, so nearly double the time, and you're still not done. Because remember, looking back at the photo that I showed you, you haven't done your upper body. So you got to add push-ups, sit-ups, and dumbbells, all right, to get that same workout as the person in 30 minutes did, all right? And you felt it when you pushed down on the table or the desk or your chair. Stomach, back, arms. Everybody say, wahoo! Yeah! Okay. Now we'll show you some videos. So I'm going to go to share screen and I'm going to share screen. Okay. Now, do you see just the body, right, of the walk? Okay. Excellent. Yes. All right. So let's do this. Okay. First of all, oh, just a second. I have to come back. One more second. Sorry. Oh, well, I seem to have that. You see me now? Yeah. The thing is about your poles, you want to make sure your poles aren't set too high and you don't want your poles set too low. Remember, we just talked about the importance of posture and alignment, right? And if they're too high, you'll have a harder time controlling them and you'll tend to wear the little feet on the bottom out more. And you get a little frustrated because your poles are kind of getting in the way, all right? You also don't want your poles set too low because if they're set too low, what are you doing? You're compressing your chest cavity. You're not walking right. So you need to have them set correctly. So you want your forearm I'm actually, these are wrong because I don't have my shoes on right now, but I don't have pajama bottoms on. A lot of people I hear do their things with their pajama bottoms. I better not have pajama bottoms on. But if I put my shoes on, that's the angle. See, I want a 45 and a 90 degree angle here and actually up just a smidge. See how this is actually a real clean 90. I want to bring it up just to see I'm up a little bit on an angle there. All right. That's what I want to see. Because when I'm hanging onto the pole, see right now the pole is straight up and down, okay? But when I get walking, I'm going to put my hand in a handshake position, grab my pole, see that's a handshake position, and now look at the angle of the pole. See the pole's back on about a 20-25 degree angle. That's where you want your pole to be, okay? Not up and down. This is a fist pump, as if I was going to go, hi, nice to meet you. I want you to shake your hand, close it, and as soon as you do, see how automatically the hand goes like that. If you even grab a stick or a pen where you are and just grab it, handshake it, that's the angle you're going to see. And that is the angle you want to hold on to your pole. Okay? Ta-da. All right. So the big mistake that lots of people make is probably the most often when I see this and I just go, oh gosh, If I can, I pull over, okay? Excuse me, I'm the pole lady, 911 pole walking rescuer. So the thing is, one of the biggest mistakes is people put their poles way out in front of them, okay? And remember, you're using these poles to propel and move you forward. If you have your pole out in front of you, okay, what you're doing is, well, unless you're going backwards, it's not helping you out in front of you, okay? You need your pole back. My sons would say often, we'd be driving along and and they'd say, look how busy my room is in the back. They would say to me, there's another one doing the praying mantis, Mom. Oh my goodness, I have everything happening here at once. I'll just put that because it's so busy. Jeez, excuse me. So there's another one doing the praying mantis, Mom, because it looks like the praying mantis because the arms are coming out like this, right? So you don't want to be doing the praying mantis. Keep your poles back. Plus it's really important because every time you take a step, you want your energy going through the center of your gravity. So if your poles are out in front of you, if you guys are after stability or lighten your load, that's not happening out here. The pole angle here, your foot will land in the middle, okay? And that's what we want to have, all right? So here we go. Now, I want to show you some video here too. Oh, and another common mistake that people make, just a second, is opposite leg to hand. They'll grab their poles and they'll start to go, same leg. They'll move the same leg as their arm. And pole walking is exactly like regular walking. When we walk opposite leg to hand, opposite leg to hand. That's right. And don't worry if you do sometimes do same leg, stop. Be patient with yourself. And then I always say, think of what leg you kick a soccer ball with. And that is the leg and your opposite hand that get going. Okay, now let's look at some videos. It's hard to envision if you haven't done it before. And for those of you who have, this still won't hurt for you to sort of see yourself here. Yay, got it again. All right, there we go. So the most common technique I'd like to see people doing is our punch pull technique. So that is, there it is. Okay, and this punch pull technique, I'm going to show you. I'll start a little video and you can watch. See how I'm keeping, if you look at, do you see my cursor there, Dorothy? You see? Okay, so see how the angle of my poles is back and they're right in line with my feet. They're not straight up and down. They're back on about a 20-25 degree angle, okay? And my forearms are parallel to the ground, this forearm here. Okay, that is what you want. And you're going to punch your hands forward and pull your hands back. So you're going to see, I'm going to demo that right now here. Here we go. So see, punch, pull, opposite leg. See? Now what I want you to see, notice the pole. See how this pole foot here is landing literally in between my back toe and my front heel. That's where I want this foot to be landing. Every time the opposite hand, keep this forearm parallel, okay? And land in between my back, see that way, one, it helps with posture. You're guaranteed to be standing up nice and tall. Like look how erect I am in standing. My gait is pretty big. You guys don't have to have that big of a gait. That's the cool thing about pole walking. You can do whatever speed you want to be doing. But that is how I want to see that. Does anybody have any questions before I just show it a little bit more? No questions? Okay. So we'll go to punch, pull, and a car is going to come by, I think here. No. All right. Now, oh, see, a car did come by. All right. We'll see if I think it doesn't. We'll watch it one more time, I think. There we go. Let's watch it one more time. So notice how I punch, pull, opposite leg. See? Plant, pull back, pull, plant, pull back, all the way through, all right? Whoop, whoop. I lost my 60 pounds doing that technique alone. A lot of you have heard probably that technique. I mean, you've heard of Nordic walking, okay? Well, the thing about Nordic walking is, I'll just pause this. I think this pauses. No, there we go. The thing about Nordic walking is, well, it's our next technique, so I'll show you. Anybody who has back, hip, knee, ankle, or feet challenges, please, the punch pull is the technique you want to be doing, okay? Because of that proper alignment, the foot landing in between your back toe and your front heel, this is the one you want, all right? You have more stability, more light. I'm going to show you the other technique here, and that is it's our Nordic walking. It parallels Nordic walking, and it's called pendulum push. So there I am. And I'm going to show you why we call it pendulum push. And this is what Nordic walking does. But I'm going to also then stop and tell you why. Well, first of all, look at this photo. Look at where the feet, the poles are. They're way back behind me. How is that going to help me to stand tall? I'm standing tall there, sure, right now. But the point of the matter is that if I don't have good posture, I'm going to be slopping forward. And if I need to depend on those poles, and well, the pole feet are way back behind me. Where am I going? I'm either face planted or falling to the side, right? So that there isn't the same kind of alignment or secureness, all right? So watch as I show how you're going to swing like a pendulum from your shoulder. So see, you're going to go to your belly button and back, and opposite leg, punt, all right? Pendulum push. See? So I'll go back. Yeah, it's funny. It looks like I am going back, and I am going to go back. All right. So I'm not saying you can't do this technique at some point, but if you have back, hip, knee, ankle, or feet issues, stability issues, please, the other punch pull is the one you want to be doing. Okay. I'll just demo this one more time just so you can see. Again, swinging from the shoulder. See, that's completely different than that punch pull I was talking about, keeping the forearm parallel, right? And look at the foot of the pole. It's right back at my heels. Okay. Alrighty. So, I think, well, we're almost out of time, but 30 minutes of pole walking, I wanted to talk about that. I think I just show, a lot of people come by my booth and say, I can't walk without poles because I have a dog. Geez, nobody told me that before. I've only been doing that for, I think she'll be 13 this month. Anyway, she's a couple years younger right here in this picture, but yeah, she's still going strong. My Lucy, isn't that cute? My hair is just, we have matching dues. We get our hair done at the same time. Anywho, my golden doodle. But see how I have the strap around my wrist, okay? I don't even have to hang on to it. And no matter if she's ahead of me, I don't have to let go of my poles. I can pull her back. Or if she goes off to the side, I can pull her in. It's not a problem at all. I've now just started using though, a waist strap. And she just walks beside me and I don't even have it. But I've walked like this with her for 12 years. And it was a bit frustrating in the beginning when she was a puppy because she had to get used to it. But you know what? You just have to be the owner. And they actually, the only thing you got to be aware of, as soon as you show them the poles, they want to go walking, right? They want to go walk. No. Anyway, here's a guy here. Here's a fellow. He's up and our poles have traveled the world. They've been to Machu Picchu. Thousands of our poles have done the El Camino in Spain. I sponsored 10 people actually to do different Everest base camps. I just love the fact I've got an awesome picture. I should get this one of a couple in Antarctica and they're in a sea of penguins and they're standing there with their poles. I'm like, yeah. So it's very cool. But that is really good. So, okay. I don't think I have anything to show you there. I'll just get out of here and come put my face back on the screen. There we go. Hi, everybody again. So, does anybody have any questions before I talk a little bit? Yes, Dorothy.
Okay, so I would like to ask you, what do we respond to people who walk with one pole?
Thank you. That is a really good question. Please don't do it. The thing is about walking, it does help, yes. Like say one of you has poles and you're out walking and the other one's complaining about something, you can lend them your one pole. But the whole point is every time you pull back and torque, you are torquing always to one side. You want to balance and align yourself. And that is the critical part, right? We want to be balanced and aligned and use both. I mean, you can change and swap hands, but you're still, you want that alignment. And it is about alignment for sure. That's a very good question. Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, Jeannie.
Can you show me how to do the strap that?
Oh, okay, sure. That is a really good question also. Because arthritis comes in my family, and I worked very hard on the strap. I've had people with carpal tunnel and arthritis literally hug and kiss me in tears because this strap, they didn't even know they have it on. If you're uncomfortable holding onto this strap, you have to play around. See, this little thing here sets the height of where, I'll put this like, sets the height of where the strap sits, okay? So you don't want to be way down here, but you also don't want to be way up here. This little toggle, all right, you have the little toggle. It goes down into the top of the poles when you set it. The only time you really...
I'll be with you in just a minute. I think she's almost coming. Oh, sorry.
I am just about done. Yeah. If there's, you can, yeah, I mean, you're welcome to go, but yeah, I'll be done in a second here.
Sorry, I was talking to my dog.
Oh. So, speaking of going for a walk, right? He probably heard that, or she heard that. So you want your pole, your hands to sit, because you see, it is not a wrist strap. It goes across the back of your hand, okay? And you really do have to play with it. You want this piece that comes up here to sit closer to your pointer finger, not to your thumb. Because see, if it's close to your thumb, see how that's not very comfortable because it's opening your thumb up. And that is, I know for me, that is not very comfortable. So you need to pull it over. You want this wider triangle piece to sit in the heel of your hand below your baby finger, okay? And the strap to come up closer to your pointer finger so that you relax, all right, into it. And it is really important, if you can't wiggle your hand out of your strap and wiggle it back in, like we would with a bangle or a bracelet, it's too tight, okay? Remember, it is not, see how it is not around my wrist, all right? And that's the critical thing, okay? So did that answer you, Jeannie? Okay. Yes, Dorothy?
So do you need to walk with a strap around your wrist?
I really recommend it because here's a bunch of reasons why. Walking with a strap is important because you want to relax the grip of your hand. If you don't have a strap on, well, how are you hanging onto your pole? You got to hang onto your poles. And when you're hanging on tightly to your poles, okay, not only are you now clenching your hands, but that clenching causes your arms to clench, which causes your shoulders to clench. And you're basically clenching like this because you got to hang on. When you have your poles set correctly and they're in, the idea is you come forward, I'm just so I don't trip myself with this. When you come forward, you relax into your strap and pull off. You actually literally let go of your poles, okay? So you're not hanging on all the time. Your hands are relaxed, and hence why, yeah, it's a really good idea to have them. So that's another very good question. Yes, Dorothy.
So I have one other question, is about the different kinds of feet that go.
Yes.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, our feet come with two pair of these little guys. See the little angled, it's like a little doe foot. That's a road foot. It goes on an angle. So if this is the ground, it's going to go, remember that back angle, and it sits flat on the ground when it hits. All right. And that's how you push and it holds. This is designed for asphalt, pavement, concrete, hard surfaces. All right. And it's got a nice little tire grip. I actually hired a special lab with this foot so that it could, it's soft enough to grab hard surfaces, but yet, and shock absorbent too, so that when you're planting, you shouldn't be planting hard down and heavy anyway. It's a gentle plant, but for those of you who don't, in the beginning, maybe you aren't doing that, this adds shock absorbency, but also they're durable. So I really had a lot of people thank me for the feet that way. Now, one thing I've discovered, we do have a trail foot, but for those of you who maybe walk on the road for a while, so you got your road foot, you're walking on with this foot, and now you hit gravel or looser terrain. If you take your pole up and turn the toe around so that the toe is forward rather than back, all right, it digs into the looser terrain. So it's kind of a really, a multi-purpose foot, this one. It's a road foot for asphalt, pavement, concrete when it's on flat, hard surfaces, and then you can turn it around. Although this one here is our trail foot, and of course it sits on an angle like that. So you see it has less property. And that's what digs into the looser, less compact terrain. And then of course there's the, you know, like this winter, we definitely had a challenge with. So there's a carbide tip. So that's designed for snow, I mean, like ice, those kinds of things. This basket then goes on there as well. So now you have for light snow, deep grass, and beach. And then this digs into harder terrain. You basically, with these poles, you're an all-terrain vehicle, all right? You, for sure. You can feel confident on pretty much any terrain, but I still really, really recommend that when you're walking like this on ice, you need like yak tracks or the spikes on your feet, because this will take care of your upper body. But if your lower body literally, you know, you're going down, right? But if you, it's amazing. I walk all year round, regardless of weather or terrain. And yeah, I walk very confidently if you're set up right. Any other questions? I know that for those of you who do not have poles, I have a special offer for Probus for your group. Normally they're $89.98. They're on sale for $79.98. But you guys are getting $20 off the main price. So you pay $69.98. I'm also throwing a free tote in for those of you who buy now, all right, who want to get them with this offer. That's $20. So you're actually saving $40 a pair, okay, which is quite the deal. And the tote is designed, oh, I should have that with me. The tote is designed so that you can wear it while you're walking. I don't know.
Plus free shipping, right? Plus,
yeah, yes. If you
Gary's gonna go get them.
Yes, either Gary's going to come and get them. If you order them between now and Monday, I'll hold on, and Gary and I are going to figure something out. I'm either going to ship it Monday to Gary, and then he's going to call you, and or I'm somehow going to meet up with him. All right, and we'll get them to him. Either way, no shipping. So that's really great, because normally I'm there and you wouldn't pay shipping, and I was trying to figure out how we could do that. All right, so $69.98 plus the free $20 tote and free shipping. So it's a huge savings. Yes, sir, Brian.
Do you take Visa?
Yeah, Visa or MasterCard.
Okay.
And what we can do is I'll give you, if you guys all have a pen, I'll give you my 1-800 number. So just phone me.
If you give it to me, I'll put it in.
Yeah, and I'll get you there too. But if you have a pen for those who are here, but I will give it to you to write it down too. I'm going to write you up a little thing that'll go in the email too. But for those of you who are, so it's 1-877-533-6348. I'll repeat it. 1-877-533-6348. Now we have also different colors. We have black, green. No, sorry, we don't have any black. We're sold out of black right now, but we've got blue, green, purple, and red. Blue, green, purple, and red. And we also have the 3-piece. Now, what's the difference between a 2-piece and a 3-piece? That's one of the biggest questions a lot of people ask. It's just more what it goes down to. Like, I don't have a 3-piece. Well, this is the 2-piece, which is the one I was holding up. This is a 2-piece, and it goes with the foot when it's down. It's about that long. With the 3-piece, it goes to about here. Okay, and but there's 2 settings per pole. So you pull out the bottom section, secure it to the middle. You pull out the middle section, secure it to the top. All right. You want adjustable poles. It's really important because, as I mentioned earlier, you don't want your poles too high and you don't want them too low. All right. You want them just for you. And you and I can be the same height, and you've got long legs and I got short little wiener dog legs like I do. And so that can make a big difference between 2 inches and being comfortable with your poles. But the 3-piece, if you're an avid air traveler, and of course, none of us are that right now with COVID, but hopefully we're not going to be here forever. And if you see yourself, the 3-piece only comes in blue, and it does, if you take it apart, it'll fit in a 19-inch carry-on. So it fits in a small suitcase. I myself love my 2-pieces. I use the 2-piece all the time, unless we're not checking luggage. Even when we travel, if I have a big suitcase, I can fit the 2-piece across a large one suitcase. We always check. I'm not a good packer. My husband will continue to tell me I'm not a good packer. And they all come with 2 pair of road feet, pair of trail feet, the baskets, and yeah, and then you guys, totes. Yes, sir.
Do you take e-transfer?
I could do that too. Yeah, we can arrange to do that as well. Yeah,
Good.
definitely. I
We'll
can.
take 2 pair.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, please give me a dingle after, and we'll, if I don't answer, it'll just mean I'm on the other line, and I'll call you right back, Brian and Rita. Okay.
Okay.
And any other questions? Did you learn a few things? Was it what you thought it was? I hope I'm blowing you away a little bit here, because
It was better than I expected. This
I'm
is
glad to hear
It's
that.
phenomenal.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. You know, it really is something. And don't you kind of think, oh, you know, I wish more people knew this, because it really is amazing. Yes, Agnes.
Sheri, I called your office several times this week and left my name and number to call back.
Oh,
and
I'm
I've
sorry.
never heard from anybody.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to admit, it has been
whether maybe you want to check on.
you know what? I need anybody who wants the 4-step, for those of you that you do call, I will get your email. I'll send it also. Yeah, because I want to send whoever wants the 4-step walking system. So it does everything. It'll show them videos like I just showed you. Okay.
Make sure if you send that link to me, I will also include, I always send out the minutes usually within a day or two.
Okay.
So
I'll try.
I put that at the end of the thing saying, this is what you're getting at this thing, and here's the number to call and all the information.
I'll be sure I'll get it to you. I'll get it to you late today, tomorrow morning at the very latest. And I apologize, Agnes. Yes.
So should we just order through this number?
Yes, you're gonna, And if I haven't heard back from you, you'll hear from me. I'm gonna call you. Okay.
Okay.
I'll call you, Agnes. And
the other thing I just want to ask
yes, Suzanne?
is this offer that you've just made to the people that are viewing, is it for all the Probus members so that Dorothy can get it out right away?
Yes, it is. It is for all of the Probus members.
Okay.
You bet. I don't just want people.
What we figured was, what did you say, Sheri? That if they want to get it on the free shipping.
Yeah, on the free shipping. Otherwise, after Monday, then I'll still give you free shipping, but you have to get 2 pairs, okay? And I'll still honor the free totes. I will give the same pricing, but if it is just a single pair, I have to charge shipping. It just unfortunately, you know, but that's after Monday. Whereas we do it today or tomorrow, you know, and I'll write that down when you email it, you know, and call me, then we'll get in on the mass shipping kind of thing. And, but yes, Susan, what I encourage you guys to do, especially since you're all together, and I'll come right back, Heather. I haven't forgotten you. I'll come back. Is that you guys, if you can, like, watch the 4-step system, okay? Kind of watch everything I've sort of taught again, so you can get those straps on right and get everything right. And wouldn't it be cool if you guys, I mean, I know it's COVID, but there's ways to walk apart from each other. It would be so cool, you guys walking together. I'm just like, it'd be so neat to see you guys doing that. And you can kind of coach each other and help each other along. It's a great
Brian, we can start a walking club now.
Yes, you really can. Yes.
The Keenfit.
I'll come and visit you, and I'll come and plan on visiting you sometime. I want
That'd
you
be
to,
great.
my goal is to create, I want to raise the fitness level of North America, by the way. That's one of my goals. And I want to create a walking revolution. So you guys are walk stars, all right? Get walking using your poles. So Heather, I'm just so excited. Pardon me, Carolyn?
Do you have an email address?
Yeah, you can email me also, but definitely email me with your phone number, because I need to talk to you to get information. But if you want to email me, it's Keenfit, KEENFIT.
Yeah.
at keenfit.com.
Oh, so
Keenfit. And you can start looking at our website, and I've got a whole bunch of how-to videos, but when I send you the 4-step walking system, it brings it together, makes it so simple, because it just has everything. Boop, 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 okay? Because I don't just want you getting poles, you guys. I really want you using them. And I'm excited again that you can be a team together and supporting each other. It's very awesome. So yes, Anna is.
Can you hear me now?
Anna. Yeah.
What is your website?
It's keenfit.com. So www.keenfit.com, KEENFIT. And if you already have poles and you want the 4-step walking system, that is yours. Please, you just need to email me and say you would like it. And then I will email it to you. Tell me you're with Probus, and I promise. Yes, Brian.
One more question. Footwear.
Yes.
Good runners.
Well, a good walking shoe is really better than a runner, because a runner is normally running. We're normally kind of a toe heel thing. Whereas walking is it is a heel toe progression. And it's best. It's really good. Like, especially if you have any issues with your lower body, you want that support. So lots of the dual, what do you call them? Mixed trainer types aren't too bad either. So mixed trainer to a walker rather than running. Okay. So if you go to these shoe stores and you say, look, I'm walking, I want a good walking shoe. Don't let them sell you a runner. It's a walking shoe. And like I say, or a cross training shoe.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for having me. And I'm so excited to see how this all takes off for you guys. And you never hesitate. My 1-800 number, which I gave you, is I've got all your numbers, so you don't have to call me unless you haven't heard from me by tomorrow noon, because it might take me a little time to kind of get in touch with everybody. But if you haven't heard from me by tomorrow noon, like for those of you, so for Dorothy, Suzanne and Robin, Brian and Rita, Anne, Heather, Ellie, or Gary, call me, leave me a message. And yeah, I'm going to get on that, Agnes. Why?
Are you wanting to say something else that you were waving your hand around for?
Maureen?
Maureen, yeah.
Yes, Maureen.
I'll order a chair.
Okay, Maureen. Excellent.
And
All right. Well, I will be.
I'll have, what color do I want? I'll have purple.
Okay, that's probably our most popular color, but it weaves in and out of that blue and green. So, well, a big hugs to you guys. Okay. Matter of fact, I want everybody to put their arms out like this, and I want you to go like this around and go mwah, and give yourself a big hug. Okay, and that is from me. All right, and then open them up and put the other hand on top of the other one. It's good, better stretching. All right, and then mwah, and that's from me. A hug and a kiss. Okay. All right. So thank you for having me. And yes, Gary?
Sheri, thank you very much. It's been kind of a long time, coming to get this presentation. We really would have liked to have had you,
live.
Live, exactly. But on the other hand, this is a good lead in. This is a good opportunity.
Yeah. Definitely worth the wait, I'll tell you that.
Thank you, Brian. So nice meeting you guys. Pardon me?
What I'm hoping we can do, Sheri, is down the road. And unfortunately, with a membership of 109, with the group we've got now, very keen on, your product, that we might be able to do this when we can get into full meeting mode.
Yeah,
Hall.
That
And
would be great.
to spread it out to more people. And I'm sure, our group right now will be talking to their friends and other members and
yeah.
out on a good presentation.
That offer,
And I remembered to record it so I can send the link out to everybody.
and that offer with the video, like that offer stands, so like even if it's 2 months from now and you're visiting with your sister or something like that, and she goes, oh, I want some. Friends and family, okay? So you just tell them to call me and say they're with Probus, and I will honor that same deal. It's just, again, two pair for free shipping, unfortunately, but I will combine it, and I will do that. I really am excited to have you walking. Yes.
Make sure you tell them that it's Lakeview Probus, by the way.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
For
exactly.
sure.
Yeah, that's us.
Otherwise.
Yeah. Thank you again, Sheri. It was
you.
great. Like I say, it's been a long time coming, over a year, that we had started this, and it was really worth the wait. And
Thank
we'll
you.
look forward to, seeing you maybe next week sometime.
Yeah.
I'll come down and
Sounds
pick up.
good.
Okay.
You betcha.
Yeah.
Walk on, everybody. You're walk stars. Take care.
Thanks, Sheri.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.